Can you hear me now? Hi. Can everybody hear me? Let me know. Let me know. I can see I'm seeing you spam green, so let me know how we're looking. Because I know it takes a minute between my end and the other end. We're good? We're good? Do I sound okay? I've seen that you can hear me. I'm just making sure. I just want to make sure because we're doing I'm doing it a little different now. I'll just let you know. But how is it going? All right, I see it there. If it'll let me, where's it at there? Loud and clear. Nice. There we are. All right, awesome. How is it going, everybody? It's been a while. Poor quality? Why is it poor quality? Let me know. But how's it going? It has been a while. I will admit part of this is a bit of a test stream, just to get the hang of this. Where's Danny B and Eric? They will be with me on the NWP season premiere on January 30th, Thursday night, January 30th. We had to move it. There's just some there were some scheduling constraints and all. Nothing too bad. Let's see. Bailey says, for the first time since 2009, it's weird to not have a particular team to root for now that Tony and SHR are gone. Yeah, it's going to be weird. I'm going to admit it's going to be very weird to have a NASCAR with no SHR. It's going to be very, very weird to me. I definitely will say that. Oh, the mic. I'm betting I know what the issue is. Hold on one second. It's echoey. So how about we do... All right. How are we now? We good now? The settings change the mic on me sometimes, so let me know if it sounds okay now. I think we're good to go. Awesome. We're better. See, that's why we do streams in the off season. All right, cool. That's why we do streams in the off season. Yes, I like this. Took his microphone out of the fish tank. Correct. So how we doing, everybody? We're doing some new stuff this year. I'll tell you that. And that's not even for NWP alone. That's also for my channel, post race show, all of that. We're using StreamYard this year, so that should be a lot of fun. Yeah, that's probably, well, it's probably that I unplugged a lot of stuff earlier and had to change stuff around. I've been moving a lot of stuff around through here. But yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of new things. So comments, yeah, we'll be putting your comments on the screen. Like this one. Sorry about the Vikings not making it to the next round. It's not too bad. I've went through much worse, but I appreciate it, and all the ribbing I have probably earned it. Connection. I mean, the connection seems pretty good on my end. Is it good on your end? I'm seeing Blue Jimmy say that in the chat. It seems good on my end, so just let me know. But yeah, I had the iceberg live, crisper, clearer, and better. I hope my camera looks a lot better. Without having to use OBS to get through a lot of stuff, it should look better and sound better. Upload speed is pretty good, I think. 200 last time I checked. Megabytes, I should say. So that's good. Let's see. Has Eric fixed his internet? Yes. Well, so for that picture we put out with all of us, we were testing how many cameras we could have of ourselves and like what it would sound like and everything. So there was a little bit of a difference in that. The cool thing is like we can have a new background. Like I'll take myself off of the front for a moment. So cool stuff. No, it's a bit better, I'd say. Does he fully know who John Candy is now? We'll get to that for sure. Let's see. Super chat here from John Berg. Nice. Says, how many times do you predict JRM runs the 40? Just the Daytona 500, both races at Daytona, Talladega, Atlanta, 2 to 5, more than 6. Well, I think that should lead in the first thing we'll talk about here. I think it's a one-time thing for now. For those of you who might be kind of coming on in here, haven't heard yet, JRM is running the number 40 Chevrolet with Traveler's Whiskey as sponsor with Chris Stapleton. That's his whiskey company. They're saying it's a one-time thing for now. I'll believe them for this year. I really don't think they're going to go above and beyond too much, especially if they miss the race, because it is a big monetary investment to do. So there is that. I think they're going to run it, though, more in the future. I really do think they are. I think that this is going to be something that they run more and more. Now that they're actually they're putting their toes in the water, I do think this is the first step to get JRM to Cup. The question is what's NASCAR going to do with the Rick Hendrick connection? Rick Hendrick is technically a part owner of that team. I know they're kind of letting them skirt the rules for this just because you got your you got this like big moment. You got Justin Allgaier driving. You got Chris Stapleton, who's one of the biggest stars in music right now. But I'm going to be interested if they actually fudge on it more, or if they're like, give Hendrick special treatment. That will not stop those who say that there is Hendrick favoritism in NASCAR. I'll tell you that. Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3. Member chat test is working, Spencer. Awesome. And Bailey says, Junior finally said, here, damn, stop asking now. They're just going to ask more. Let's see what we got here. I like this one. JRM finally decided to stop edging us and finally runs the Daytona 500. It's about how it feels at this point. They finally did it. Brett Griffin as guest to NWP. Where did you get that AI? I don't know what AI we're talking, but I don't know if the AI is saying anything in the chat. I don't get that on my end. I'd be down to talk to anybody, man. I don't think he'd be down to talk to us, but I'd be down to talk to him. I would love to just sort of parcel through the brain of Brett Griffin on stuff he thinks about, because the dude is well connected in this sport and knows a lot of stuff. He might say some stuff you disagree with, or a lot of stuff. I know I disagree with a lot of the stuff that he said before, but he also knows a lot about this sport and has been in it a long time. I'd be down to parcel through his brain on that. It would be interesting. I'll tell you that. There's a lot of differences of opinion, I'm betting. Oh, what's up, John? Excited for this year's Daytona 500? Yes. Which I'm, if I'm not mistaken, you're going and a bunch of the NR guys are going. Can't wait for February 7th though, and the 4th, Florida 500 coming out. That should be a ton of fun. I'm going to be co-commentating on the IDK Player YouTube channel with John on that one. And I will see you also tonight. We have the Hendersonville, Nashville main hub group. We have a hangout spot. So we're hanging out tonight after I get off on here. Well, after I get off here. But before then, I also got to let the dog out. But yeah, I am really excited for the duels this year, no matter what. Yeah, we yap so much, we might as well do it live. True. I'm really excited for the duels this year. I think we're going to have some absolutely crazy, insane drama out of it, especially if a couple more of those, like if Jimmy Johnson jumps on in, as well as a couple others that are unconfirmed. BJ McLeod has been very fast as well in his super speedway starts. I know that, I know that he's not necessarily going to be like beating Hendrick Motorsports or anything, but he has the speed that if he's able to stay up towards the front, which I think he is because he's a smart driver, he could upset the show. So I am really, really excited for this year's Daytona 500, for the duels, all of it. Let's see. Oh, wow.
Alex says, I was going to go to the Daytona 500, but couldn't make it. I'm going to Indy again, though. So you win either way. You got a crown jewel to go to. There's a lot of drama that I think is coming out with this when it comes to the Daytona 500 and the duels and everything. The Mike Wallace drama, that's a big one that I think a lot of people have been talking about. He was going to be in the number 66 for MBM. Hasn't raced in a while. A lot of people raise question marks at his age, being 65, I believe. And NASCAR this past week kind of went back on what he had been told from what it sounds like, at least what Kenny Wallace had talked about and what some others closer to the situation had talked about. It was more just a inconvenience of kind of messaging. A lot of stuff got lost in translation from the sound of it. I'm gonna be honest, if he was able to race, say, in the ARCA race or test, or do some other kind of test or something like that and pass, I'd be for him to be in. I think any driver who's able to race should have that opportunity, especially you bring a sponsor, you have a long connection in NASCAR and stuff like that. And I wouldn't be surprised if he tries it for 2026. I know a lot of people brought up, well, what about Castro Neves? He's basically getting in. Well, I think he also was doing the ARCA race, if I'm not mistaken. SVG did something very similar. I feel bad for him. I'll say that. I don't necessarily disagree with NASCAR's take on this. I'm not trying to suck up to NASCAR or anything. It's just more, I have reservations about a guy who has not been on an oval in 10 years, who is 65 years old, racing and then causing an accident or having slow reaction time, stuff like that. John talking about in there with Derek Cope in 2021 wasn't necessarily great. So I'm it sucks, but I think the right decision was made. With that let's see, Wizard King Knight with the member chat here says, if you could win one race in any racing series, which one? Martinsville and Cup. I love Martinsville. It's my favorite track by a wide margin. And another one there. Yeah. Elio's been racing the past few years in IndyCar and IMSA too. So that's a major difference. By the way, I think I can change the styles of this too. Like, yeah, I think we'll go with that one. There you go. So it sucks, but I think it was the right way to go about it. But yeah, Martinsville for me. I love Martinsville. I love the history of that track. Outside of next gen races, I can probably count on one hand how many bad races I've ever watched of Martinsville. I love that track. And even the last one, it got overshadowed because of the controversy, but like, let's not forget, if you go back and watch that race on mute, no championship, take the overlays off, watch it on mute, no championship implications, none of the playoff stuff, any of that. Just watch it strictly for the racing. I thought it was pretty good. Still some work to be done. I agree. A lot of work to be done. But I really like the direction they're going with it. Let's see. Can't wait for David Land's appearance on NWP this year, where he says how great Fox is with IndyCar, and NWP says how bad Fox is with NASCAR. That's been a talking point. I think we can talk a bit about that because that's been a pretty big talking point the last week or so. And a lot of the stuff we'll talk about tonight is stuff we won't probably talk about. We won't probably talk about on the podcast, so I'll let you know that. And no, you can clown on me about the Vikings all you want. I'm used to it. I will not block you. It's if you harass me to the point that it's like overboard, and I don't think any of you guys are going to do that. So go for it. I have fun with it. But the Fox thing with IndyCar, with NASCAR, I covered it in a video. I think this week, last week, it was recently. And my kind of take is I think everyone's overreacting so far. I think that the steps that Fox has taken with IndyCar are great so far. IndyCar did take less money to be on Fox from the sounds of it. And had NASCAR taken a little less money, we would have more races on Big Fox as well. So that should probably be, go for, even if you're a Rams fan, go for it. All good. And that's the lesson there. The NASCAR took the money and ran, and we're all going to suffer because of it, because we're going to have races on a dying platform with cable. So like, that's the big thing with IndyCar that they started out really, really well with Fox. But I think that was more of an IndyCar decision more than anything. The ad with Joseph Newgarden, I loved it. So I live in Hendersonville. I won't go too much further into that, but the park I run at in Hendersonville actually has a 20-point path with 20 plaques among this path that are all about Joseph Newgarden, because he's from Hendersonville too. Funny enough, this park actually was built by Taylor Swift. It's very interesting. It's a very fame-filled park. And the deer come up to me like I'm a Disney princess, as Riss likes to say. But Joseph Newgarden, I think so. Funny story, and then I'll get to it. Trust me, we're all going just off the brain right now on all this. Funny story about Joseph Newgarden is so I went to the Vikes Jets game back in 2022, and I flew from Nashville up to Minneapolis. And when I was waiting in the in line for my flight, I look over and I see this dude with a very chiseled jawline. I'll give him that. It was a defining feature. And I'm like, that looks like Joseph Newgarden, because at the time I didn't know as much. I didn't know that he lived around here or anything like that. And they called his name, and I'm like, wait a minute, that is Joseph Newgarden. Holy shit. So pretty cool story on that part. But I think Joseph Newgarden is one of the easiest drivers to market. I think he's one of the most marketable drivers that IndyCar has, especially with winning the Indy 500 multiple times and being on the forefront, and with the Indy 500 on the rise in so many ways, with viewership, with the racing product, and in a lot of ways, at least from what I've noticed. I'm a casual IndyCar fan, so bear with me. He still lives here. So them doing that and highlighting a driver, and then even kind of like giving like a little morsel of like, here's what the next commercial is going to be. I thought it was awesome. And I think that's a great start. And that's on Fox. So half of this so far is on IndyCar making the right decision. Half of it is on Fox making the right decision. And then you turn around and you look at the Daytona 500 commercial, which was very paint by numbers. You get the old fans with their member berries. You put Joey Logano on for 5 seconds, as not even 5 seconds, maybe 3 seconds as the past champion. You have your Earnhardt, you have your Gordon, you have everyone go, woo, we got our guy. Gordon or Earnhardt, guys that haven't been on the track in decades. It very much was a paint by numbers commercial. Now, I will say this, when in years that Fox hosts the Super Bowl, they usually blow their commercial load on the Super Bowl itself, because it's the biggest audience. There's going to be 100 million people watching. And usually, from what I at least have noticed, there's been a bit of a bump when they have the Super Bowl. So that's the hope there now. Do I think that Fox is going to change anything? No, I really don't. I think we're going to have the same D- quality for a lot of the stuff going on in the NASCAR side of it. Fox is producing everything, and that's a key part of this. Whereas from the sounds of it, at least what, and again, a lot of the IndyCar stuff I get is from David Land a lot. Sounds like IndyCar is going to be producing a lot of it, if not all of their broadcasts, like they've done with NBC. So I wouldn't be surprised if their broadcasts are way better, if their promotion is way better than NASCAR. It's a new kid on the block too. You got to remember, when NASCAR was a new kid on the block, NASCAR, I remember like 4 years later, even NASCAR still got that new kid on the block kind of mentality from Fox, where they're pushing it everywhere. Fox Sports does this with everything, and they push their properties everywhere. I'm going to be interested what it looks like, say, in 2027, 2028. I want to see what it looks like down the road when it's not new, when they have a new shiny toy. I mean, look at the USFL or UFL or whatever the hell that crappy football league is called now. Look how much they push that into NASCAR broadcasts, baseball broadcasts. That's just, it's just something that I think NASCAR fans are kind of foreign with because we haven't had to deal with it from another motorsport property ever. F1's the closest, and it's not even on the same channels as NASCAR. So there is that. NASCAR Fanatic saying these are the races I plan on watching: Daytona, Dega, Coke 600, Pocono, Indy, Southern 500. Anything else is TBD. So yeah, there's a lot of animosity still towards NASCAR. They made some big rule changes. I haven't seen necessarily when they were going to talk about the playoff changes. Still sounds like there might be some small ones. But you know, I don't think they're going to make a big change this year. Unfortunately, I would love them to, especially if it was closer to like 2004 to even 2013 Chase era. That's another thing. I think Real Radman started this, and by the way, congratulations to him. I think he is just started his new job at NASCAR, so congrats to him. But I think he started this kind of movement. Can we start calling the playoffs the chase, at least? Like, it's uniquely NASCAR. Like, if we're even gonna be doing a playoff format in some way, like let's keep it NASCArized. Playoffs just kind of, to me, it molds and melts into everything else. It's just it was a good name. Brian had a good one on that. Let's see. Fred Dog, hope you and your family are doing well this offseason. We are. We are definitely doing well. I know Fox will be Fox, but can NBC recover from a surprisingly bad last season? Which ways will we say it's bad? Because I do think that they fell off a little bit last year. I think the booth was more level across the board. I think Letarte and Jeff Burton did a better job. I think Lee Diffie was better, but missing Dale Earnhardt Jr. was a very big energy drain from the booth that, I'm sorry, when Burton's voice gets that octave, it's like I've had to replace the window in here. The glass is shattered so many times. It wasn't bad, but to me, but it was bad for NBC standards. I think just keeping stuff really level. Don't change too much. I know that there's been a bit of a talent drain because of so many different broadcasters. I know that Steve Letarte's gone. Yes, he's going with Dale Jr. to Amazon and Turner. I think keeping it as similar as possible and letting the team kind of mold together a little bit better would be good. I think the more you can add youth, whether it's on pit road or in the booth, adding a bit of youth is a very important thing, I think, for across the board for NASCAR now. No disrespect to a lot of the guys out there. I know, I think Larry Mack, if I've last checked, is still a free agent. So he's probably not going to be on Fox this year unless something changes. Could change. No disrespect to him or Mike Joy or really any of that older guard, but there comes a certain point where you got guys in their 70s and 80s up there, and one, that's not going to have the energy that a younger broadcaster would bring, but two, you're starting to hit the age cliff on broadcasting. I mean, even the best back in the day, John Madden, same thing. He had it at a certain point where it's like you just got to call it. So I'm excited for the new blood because there's some really good young or younger broadcasters coming up. Even though it seems like Rick Allen, I think, is retired from the sounds of it. Twin Spinner says, okay, but how about McMurray and Kligerman? That's right. Yes, they will be in the booth for the CW for Xfinity races with Adam Alexander. Adam Alexander is going to be busy this year, man. All the Xfinity Series races, and then you add in the Cup races. My big worry, I think Eric talked about this, my big worry on this is if we're going to have a lot of remote broadcasts. I'm not crazy about remote broadcasts. I think the quality goes down so much. But I'm excited for both of them being up there. I talk about youth. I talk about energy. I think both of them have that. I think they both know how to connect with a younger base online, and that's something that definitely is needed. So there is that. And like Dirty Def says, I really like who CW's putting in the broadcast booth for 2025, but you know that some of these races are going to be remote, and that's the thing that sucks. The races, at least that Adam Alexander's doing Cup, because it sounds like Turner and Prime are it sounds like it's all the same crew for the most part. There's the same like on-air talent, but it sounds like it's like the same kind of crew is working those 10 races. I have a feeling those will be in person, but other than maybe some of the big ones, I don't see any others. Bailey says, do you think NASCAR will be smart and air on Twitch? I hope so. If you don't know, Prime has Thursday Night Football, and they air those games on Twitch to varying degrees of success and internet connection. I think that would be the right way to go about it. Make it easily accessible. There's going to be a lot of, and the thing is, a lot of people be like, oh, old people don't get cable anymore. No, it's younger people. It's people on like the 50 and under crowd are not the ones that want to get cable. Like they're the reason cable's dying. You think I want cable? I split YouTube TV with multiple people. That's I rarely watch TV anymore. Right. I watch TV for like NASCAR because it's just accessible on my package that I have. I watch a couple movies here and there. Reruns of shows. Like if there's episodes of Band of Brothers on, I'll watch it or something. And if I want to get disappointed by the Vikings, I watch TV. But it seems like I listed a lot there, but I maybe turn on when it's not racing season, I turn on my TV maybe once a week, right? I'll turn it on next week for the Notre Dame game. That's it. Like I don't want to watch TV. If it was up to me, I wouldn't have a TV package. If NASCAR went strictly just streaming, I would go to whatever stream. If it had an app, I would get rid of TV and just have the app. I only have TV because I watch and cover NASCAR. That's it. Which I guess I'm falling into the trap that the networks want when it comes to that. So my long-winded way of saying it, I will miss Rick Allen. I got used to him. I think he got an unfair kind of reputation. I think he improved a lot over the last couple of years. Here's one. Alex Luff brings up another point that I had written down here. So thoughts on Kurt Busch being medically cleared? I don't think he's going to be back in NASCAR. If I'm trusting my gut on this, do I want to see him back? Hell yeah. I'd love to see Kurt Busch get into an extra entry for some team if they want to fudge the rules. NASCAR will fudge the rules and stuff, whether it's a Toyota team in general, maybe a legacy team. Maybe have Kurt Busch, if he's better than Jimmy Johnson, race the next gen for a couple of races at legacy or something. Maybe have something like that. I would love to see him back, but I don't see it. I know he's doing like that Race of Champions, and I wish him the best. Maybe he'll jump into a short track race the way that Dale Jr. usually does with like a Bristol or maybe a Martinsville or Richmond or something. I want Kurt Busch, if he wants to race in NASCAR again, I want him to have the chance to choose where he wants to race and choose when he walks away. Because I think it was, and I don't really, I know it's the car. I don't necessarily blame NASCAR directly. As much as a lot of others do. I think it was their fault for rushing the car and stuff like that. But I think that it's the universe is unfair sometimes. And I think it's unfair that Kurt Busch, someone of his caliber, someone who had such a great success story and a recovery story, I think it's so unfair in the universe that he might not be able to end on his own terms. So I hope he does, man. I really, really hope he is able to choose what he wants to do. Let's see what else we got here too. Yeah. Speaking of the cable streaming talk, yo ho, it's a pirate's life for me. Like that one. There be treasure. Oh, I used that one. I did not push. Okay, I want to make a point clear because a few people DM me about this worried. I did not overtly say in any way to pirate anything. I just said that people might do that. So just saying. Let's see. Kyle Busch for the 500. Yeah, he is definitely somebody who that's going to be the story. I think that if you're following a driver and a really good storyline for the 500, I think it's Kyle Busch you got to follow. What are we thinking? Put numbers in the chat. Spam. Who do we think is going to win the Daytona 500 this year? I ain't counting your pick just yet. We'll count it for the podcast when we get there. But let me know. That was a great use of the meme. Thank you, Blue Jimmy. I appreciate the appreciation for my shit posting abilities. Lots of 8s I'm noticing. Lots of 8s. Wow. Hart says 8, Head says 12. So I'm noticing 8 and 12. So Busch and Blaney is the one that a lot of people are looking at. Logano, of course. Some chases I've noticed in there. Stupid nincompoop. I like that name. Brad K. Let's see if it comes down to Brad K and Kyle Busch at the end of the race. I doubt either car makes it to the finish line. Neither driver wants to see the other one win, and especially the Daytona 500. Neither of them have won. Melon Man, 20 years of frustration. I'm just having that 2017 feeling again. Called Kurt that year 2 months before the race. Fair enough. I mean, I think Kyle Busch is one of the favorites. Say what you want about RCR. Say what you want about Kyle Busch at his age right now and RCR and all that put together. They have put together great racing at the super speedways. I think they were one of the ones, if not the highest point scorers last year in super speedway races. So they're consistent. They're up front during the stages and at the end of the race. I totally could see it. I could totally see Chris Buescher, like Nicholas is saying in there. Ross. Yeah. I mean, after that, he was so close last year. Somebody, was it Alex Bowman? I think that has the most. Alex Bowman is the one that I think is going under the radar this year. He's been really good at the super speedways as well. Cindric, I'm noticing, has. Say what you want about super speedway racing, about the prestige of the Daytona 500. I know a lot of people have talked about that. It has made it, I won't say as much of a crapshoot because it's still a lot of the same people up front, but it has made it more of a lottery. Not a crapshoot, I feel like is a step below or step above, whichever way you look at it, lottery in the sense of just mystery with who's going to win. There is a consistent conglomerate of cars that you always see up there. I see Alex Bowman fans rise up. I will say this, man. I've been pretty high on Alex Bowman this this off season, and I have been for a bit now. I really think that Alex Bowman can take off. I'm telling you now. I don't think he's going to lead a lot of laps. I don't even know if he'll have a lot of top fives. But when he does, he'll be up front. I mean, nobody expected him to win the Chicago race. So, whoa, your face is naked. Yeah. Well, it's got a little sandpaper on it. Oh boy. That's not good. Sorry. I just got a text. There's a crash on the road that I'm going to be driving on. So, traffic jams. So we should probably be expecting the sirens to go off any moment now. Now, one other big thing I wanted to talk about with you guys. We talked about it a little bit, but I want to kind of go a little more in depth on it. I won't give away all the secrets because you got to wait till the premiere for it. But NWP. Oh, we got a crash. Can't wait to hear that again. It's going to scare the hell out of me during the 600. The famous iceberg sirens, all of it. But I want to talk about this for a little bit here. The NWP Season 8 premiere. So it'll be Thursday, January 30th on this channel. So subscribe if you're new. Put it in your calendar. Do whatever you want with that. I'll tell you, it's Thursday just because there was a little scheduling constraint. And we wanted to make sure all three of us could be in the same place. It's a one-time thing. We will be back on Wednesdays after this. we'll just be a little bit closer to Bowman Gray for our premiere and for our preview and everything like that. We're excited. I mean, I've told you already, we don't have OBS anymore. We have StreamYard. And I'll say this, we got a few more gadgets. I mean, I'm showing you guys this, like Cito right here, season 8 hype. Yes, there is a lot. There's a lot of hype, at least from the three of us on it. So yeah, there'll be no more like goals. At least you don't need to hit them. If you want to keep doing like goals, we can come up with like goals and it just won't mean anything, but we can just have it as a fun little game to do. So you guys let me know that in the comments after the stream processes and everything. If you want to do it for fun, we can do it for fun. One of these things you guys have been asking, though. Yeah, no like goals. Random driver of the week is a permanent, at least for this year. Unless you guys really fall off on it on us, then we might have to bring it back. I'm kidding. Random driver of the week will be a standard segment now. No like goals, no having to twist rules, anything like that for you guys. So there is going to be that. That is a change for this year. Trust me, if we can get Jeff Gordon or Dale Jr. on, we would. We've gotten Jimmy on before. There's if you look back in 2020, there's an interview that me and Danny did with Jimmy Johnson, one of the greatest moments of my YouTube NASCAR career. But yes, so no more standard like goals. We will have random driver of the week every week. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to we won't waste 5 minutes gaslighting you this year on it. Another thing that I think I can say today, I will not release it until it's applicable to be done. But a lot of people have been asking about it. We will be bringing, because I just created it this year. Spencer just asked about it. We will be bringing back the NWP NASCAR Fantasy League. So there you go. For those of you who are asking, this is like Dale Jr. had his "there you go, now stop asking." This is my "there you go, now stop asking." I created it earlier today. It's private at the moment. And we'll put out the signups or whatever. I don't exactly know what we're supposed to do because I didn't run it before. But we'll put it out in the premiere or whenever. I think the first we might be able. Yeah, we'll probably put it out in the premiere. So keep an eye for that. Be sure to watch live if you can. Watch live if you can. And yes, I will admit I'll miss Danny Danny can gaslight us about something else. So I'm hanging out with him tonight. I'll talk with him about gaslighting us tonight. But yeah, there's some other changes. I'm not going to get too in depth on those just yet. Obviously the look is going to change a little bit. You saw that if you follow me on Twitter, you saw the picture that we tweeted and retweeted out there of me, Danny, and Eric. So it'll look a little different this year. We might be able to add different things we weren't able to do before. Sometime down the road, we might simulcast it. So maybe have it like on one of our Twitter accounts and then also on YouTube, get a wider range. So, just letting you know. Okay. So yeah, you can't join it yet. Please, it's not, because I'm pretty sure I left it. If not, either way, don't matter. But yeah, it's gonna be different this year. We're not gonna do Twitch. Sorry, I don't like Twitch. I hope that Amazon and Prime and all the people that work on that put NASCAR on there, so it's another area it's accessible. But we will not do Twitch. But it's gonna be different. We're taking a big step this year, so there's gonna be new things. A lot. I can't get too in depth. We're 15 days away. If you can wait 15 days, I assure you we will have more. For those of you who might be watching that listen to it on Spotify and all the streaming services, we will keep the super chat segments in now. We used to cut them before just for time, just because it wasn't applicable as much to listening we thought. But a lot of people that listened to it said they wanted to hear more of it. So we're going to roll with it. All right. We're going to roll with it. People want to hear it, we'll put that in. Do you guys have any questions? I might be able to answer a little bit more to kind of hype you guys up. Is Jet making the intro again? Yes, Jet is helping out again with that, and a huge appreciation and shout out. Subscribe to Jet MDK. He puts out some awesome videos too with NASCAR stuff, and is criminally underrated. I love his opinions. I love how opinionated he is on stuff. So I'm really excited for what he cooks up. Let's see. Do we think that Bowman Gray will be impacted by snow? Maybe. We'll give it a few more days and then the forecast. Any new first-time guests this year? We have a few that we're talking to. Nothing confirmed just yet. I guess I can look on my end here. There's a couple that were rough drafting. Couple people we might bring back that haven't been on in a long time, guest-wise. So a lot of cool stuff. Let's see. Will Allgaier win the Daytona 500? I don't know. What kind of breed is Rhett, your dog? Poodle. I know. Get Ellie back on. We'll definitely make that work. I can never say for sure, but Bologna Burger back. I'd love to have him back. I haven't sent much stuff out to people yet. Any new chicken power rankings? I've been off my chicken eating game lately. I apologize. Let's see. Will you have any drivers on this year's NWP throughout 2025? That's the plan, to get a couple at some point. The great part about what we're doing and the new stuff we're working with is, like, we can have people jump in and, like, just go from there. We can have questions pop up and they'll see your questions, stuff like that. There's going to be, I'm excited, man. I'm just really excited. Remember, so January 30th, Thursday night, a lot of stuff coming up. God, man, there'll be more stuff I think we can talk about closer to, for better or worse. Most, if not all, better. NASCAR show us a guest. Let's see. Oh yeah, auto racing analytics. Oh, definitely. Grant will definitely be back on. Off topic. How is the fiance? She's good. She's good. Got an ultrasound coming up, so that'll be fun. We'll do I won't go too much, but we have a fun little NASCAR themed podcast kind of gender reveal this year. So I'll let you guys know real soon. 15 days on that one. Going to Eric's wedding? Yeah, I'll be there. Yeah, I got something real fun. We'll put I'll put a poll up during the episode, and then when we're able to premiere it, then we'll see how many of you are right or wrong. Name will not be public. I'm just saying that now. I know a lot of you guys are ask questions. I appreciate it. We're just going to keep some privacy with it. But I'm it's gonna be fun. Any plans for future sponsorship? We're open, man. Weekly podcast guest at gmail.com. If anyone is open, we generally would want to keep it as, like, not just one-offs. But yes, like Eric from Out of the Groove, he's a co-host on NWP with us. But it's gonna be a fun first show. We got a lot of stuff planned up. I have a lot of different graphics I still have to make for it. A random driver of the week. I already have a driver picked out. What races do you plan on going to this year? I'm not sure yet, unfortunately. Baby is due, like, right at Nashville week, so I've decided not to go to that one. And the Kansas weekend I usually do is not going to work out this year, so I don't know just yet. I want to be to at least one or two. don't know just yet which one or two it will be. Nothing really before July. I'll say that. Unfortunately, when it comes to the attending, the post-race shows will be back. I might miss one or two like Xfinity races or truck races this year, but the post-race show will be back. I'm really excited for that one. I'm really excited to with this. Like with the ability here, like this is funny. If it'll let me. Like with this ability on the post race show, I'll be able to put on screen the like little arguments I have back and forth with a lot of y'all in the chat, or like the things I agree with, stuff like that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Post race will be back. I will warn you guys in advance that at least with the way it is set up on here, I'd have to get a little bit better with StreamYard. It might just say waiting for the iceberg instead of like me changing the time countdowns. So I'll let you know that right now. That might be a small change. Doesn't mean I'm just being lazy and, picking my seat. It's more that I don't want to like go through a million things to change it. I might learn how to do it better, but we'll go with that. It'll be good. Yes, I showed your comment on screen. I will show many comments on screen, like this one. Do you think Chicagoland will be back in 2026? So here's the thing with Chicagoland. And I did not see this one either. It says Pete Pistone this morning made a prediction the Cup Series will be back in Chicagoland 2026, indicated he's hearing things from NASCAR insiders. So I will say this. And member chats, I definitely got to put on screen when I have this shot too. I will say this about Chicagoland. I know a little bit more, and I have for a little bit. I don't know everything, but I do know that NASCAR, from what I've heard years ago, will not leave the Chicago market again. Whether that's Chicago street course coming back for more years or leaving and then coming back, Chicagoland will be back. The track is in very good condition. You're gonna need some TLC. Definitely is going to need to. But it is track wise, from what I have heard and seen from people more in the know than me, it is very close to race ready. Getting a proper staff put together for it, which again, you have a lot of people. NASCAR has put a lot of money into the Chicago market in general with offices and different things like that. I'm just saying now, it's very realistic. And I've been beating this drum for a while since I was basically like informed back in 2020 or so that they would not demolish it. And since I've gotten to talk to more people about it, I would say it's a greater than 50% chance that Chicagoland will be back in 26, 27. I will go as far as to say I guarantee that unless there's an act of God to stop it, it will be back by then. I have full confidence. This is not me being Delulu. This is not me drinking the Chicagoland Kool-Aid, any of that stuff. This is me saying it. And saying that, Pete Pistone lives in the Chicago area. I'll say this. I think the Chicago street race is done after this year too. And it's not because I don't want to be pessimistic about it. But more that there's a big economic impact to the city. And if you know anything about Chicago politics, and not me making a political statement, this is the same way about a lot of different cities around the United States, around the world. If they're not making enough money, both legally and illegally, off of it, they don't want it. And that's something that I NASCAR fleeced them. I mean, it's just straight up NASCAR fleeced them. NASCAR got a great deal for Chicago street race that gave them huge numbers, that gave them some great storylines with SVG, kicked off his NASCAR career. And, a lot of people are talking about like Chicagoland comes back and then they'll do the street race in San Diego or something like that. That's very realistic as well. I can't wait. I'll tell you this right now. When Chicagoland comes back, it's not if, it's when Chicagoland comes back. I will be there. I'll have a lot of people there. If we want to have a nice meetup, we can figure it out once the date is released. I will do everything in my power. And again, I'm not some giant YouTuber. I'm not even the NASCAR standards. Like, I'm not like an Eric. I'm not like a Slap, but I will do everything in my power to make sure that weekend works as well as it possibly can. Any way I can. I really, really think it's going to be an awesome race. And I'm just saying, man, like, keep it on the radar. I know a lot of people are, I've seen a lot of people being like, oh my God, like, are we really going to do this again? Why would we give this track a chance? Well, the racing for one, but two, you through the Chicago street race, got this huge needle and injected a jolt of energy back into this area for NASCAR. Man, I'd be so excited. Nicholas here says, favorite Chicagoland moment other than 2018. Yes, 2018 might be my one. It's definitely in my top 5 moments at the track. I've been in a lot of cool ones, man. Tony Stewart winning in 2011, that fuel mileage race on that Monday was awesome. 2014 was an awesome race. 2015, I got to see the Harvick Johnson deal right in front of me, and then also in the driver's lot, because my camper that I would stay in with my family was right next to him. So I actually, I can't reach it, but I have a Chicagoland hat on the other side of this camera, just out of reach. And today I dug out like 3 of my Chicagoland t-shirts. Like, there's something, like, the force is real here on this one. But Dale Jr.'s win, definitely, but I didn't attend that one. It's definitely up there. But there's just something about the connection of attending a race compared to not. Like, when Dale Jr. won in 2012 at Michigan and I was there, favorite NASCAR moment ever. Nothing will change that. So do a live stream when NASCAR 25 comes out. Definitely. I'll tell you what, if they're open to like having me play on the opening day or whatever, I'll do it. I've been critical of NASCAR gaming before, but if you're able to do it well too, I'm praised NASCAR gaming. But yeah, just be better than the Ignition. Just work. Like, I don't have, here's the thing about the NASCAR 25 stuff. I don't have super high expectations. Like, a lot of people saying, oh, it'll be as good as Thunder 04. Like, I'm not going to go there. I also, though, I don't want to have it as low as, like, just work. I just want to be a yes, functioning game, but I want it to be a game that there's clearly a base to build off of. I don't need it to be perfect. I just need it to be in the right direction, and I need it to be able in some way to show me, like, okay, we're in good hands moving forward. This isn't just going to be like the Heat games where it's incremental increases. And granted, I thought that Heat 4 was decent. It was playable. Online was very fun. If you can get like a Heat 3, Heat 4 start, I will be very happy, because then you can build off of that. Let's see. Mistake that Haas didn't put Cole in the 00. I'm not sure just yet how I feel about the new font. I kind of like it, but I want to see it on track first. Man, I do wish we had the 00. Like, 00 looks awesome. I've been getting this question a lot. How am I doing after Vikings loss? I'm good. I've been through worse. 09, 2017, that was worse. Is what it is. Good luck to the Rams the rest of the way. I hope they do it for LA. Is what it is, man. I'd be more upset if I thought like we were cheated out of it, or if it was like for the Super Bowl or something, but it's not too big a deal for me. Sucked in the moment, but I got over it after like an hour. I went and ran like 6-7 miles, and I was all good. Yeah, we got the Ghostbuster as the quarterback, and he's not good at his job. Will NASCAR ever raise the horsepower again to improve racing? So I will fully admit, I need to get like an Alex Jones style tinfoil hat and like talk about my conspiracies. I'm gonna be completely honest. Conspiracy theory time here. Tune out if you want. I get that. my baseless conspiracy is that NASCAR is keeping it this low, partially for some of the reasons they say, but partially because when they add in hybridization and it improves horsepower, they can use that to sell it to people. Because God knows, I haven't been crazy about it. I'm okay with hybrids now, but God, I wasn't 5-6 years ago. But anything getting close to electric vehicles with NASCAR fans is like kryptonite, like, the convulse in pain away from it. I think that's what they're going to do. I really do. I think that's their selling point. Horsepower is the last resort thing. I get it costs a little more money and stuff like that because you don't get the engines to last as long. And that's probably what they're looking at with it. Too. But I think that is my baseless conspiracy theory, is that it makes sense to do that. I hope they don't do push to pass. I really don't want them to do that. But that is my like little like, put on the hat and be a little crazy. I I don't know, man. I want them badly too. I really do. I really, really want them to just put it up to 700 or something again, or like 750. Let's see. Where is Slap Shoes at? He's around. He just doesn't make as many videos. His stuff's always awesome though. If you haven't subscribed to Slap, dude is amazing. But trust me, he's alive. If it's a wellness check, he's doing fine. He's slapping. Yeah, he's doing good. His vocabulary rubbed off on me a little bit. We've had a lot of running jokes from our trips before, whether it be Bristol, Daytona, Miami, any of those ones. But one of them is calling people a mook. And on Twitter during the Vikes game, I put it's funny as hell to me that somebody is going to pay this mook $50 million a year next year. But yeah, Slap's awesome. Slap's awesome with his videos, but he's awesome. He's even more awesome away from it. The greatest thing about the way I know that trips I go on with these people, whether it be like Slap or Jet, Danny and Eric, obviously others, is like if I can come back and there's like 3 or 4 stories that I can't tell online. That's how I know it was a great trip. Not because I don't want to tell them, but because I don't want, the Google overlords to nuke me because I dare say something funny that happened. But he's doing good. Let's finish off pretty quick here because I do have to run. I got to get the dog to go outside. I don't want him pooping in my house. And then meeting up with a few of the guys, John and Danny B, couple others too. So let's get a few more questions in here, and then we will head on out. Oh man, plus my throat's hurting. I had something to eat, and it was super hot and it burned my throat. Thoughts on Radman working for NASCAR now? I'm happy for him. Sounds like it's something we really wanted, and I know he'll kick ass. He's good dude. So I wish him best. How do you think about Rockingham? Cannot wait. Cannot wait. Easter weekend is going to be so damn fun. And it's the only off week for NASCAR. If you look at the schedule, the last Saturday off during the season is Super Bowl weekend Saturday. After that, every Saturday is racing. Let's see. Daniel Ricciardo 2025 NASCAR sighting. I don't know just yet. I want to see something with actual meat on the bone for that first. But let's see. Which NASCAR game is my favorite? Thunder 04. Definitely Thunder 04. I have great memories with the Heat games, but I don't necessarily like the Heat games. Let's see. Look at this dude. If I have to sit through a Penske and Chiefs three-peat, I'll scream. I'm kind of rooting for the Chiefs just for the just for the madness of it, honestly. Just for the meltdown. Because like I don't care who wins at this point. There's no one I necessarily hate. And maybe it's just me kind of mellowing out as a fan and a person for the most part. But I kind of want to just see the meltdown. I want to see the meltdown, and I want to sit on the side and troll the shit out of people doing it. Better Kellogg scheme, Labonte or Busch? I'm gonna be. This is gonna be one where people disagree with me a lot here. I think Kyle Busch's was better personally. Maybe it's because I grew up with it, but I like the neon yellow and like the shiny blue, like the Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson kind of shiny blue more than the Terry Labonte ones. That's just me though. I get that people disagree with that, and I was a kid when those were out, and so it caught the eye, all that. Personally, my favorite one. I don't know if I don't have it out right now. My favorite one is the Mark Martin one in 2009. That car is beautiful, and it could fit on the Gen 4. It could fit on the later COTs. It could fit on the Gen 6. Like that car is a beautiful car. I mean, this is the thing. Here's the thing about Kellogg schemes, because I know a lot of people are going back and forth. I like them all. I think they're all really, really good. I can't think of a bad Kellogg scheme personally. If you had a track full of just number 5 Kellogg schemes, I'd be happy. If we can get Kellogg's back, I'd be very happy just so I could see them. What changes would you make to the NASCAR playoffs? Ohio Sportsman says that. I get rid of them. I'm pro full season format, whether we keep stages, do any of that, whatever. We can keep it all the same. I don't care. If I had to keep a playoffs, 10-man chase, keep your playoff points, let them race throughout. I want consistency to matter. I don't want winning to mean everything personally. I want it to mean more. I think we should award more points to winners, which is, I think, was the root the root problem to a lot of that stuff was that winning didn't matter enough in the eyes of fans, especially a lot of newer fans at the time. Those newer fans that are now us older fans or tenured fans now. So I mean, award more per race. I want the races to matter more than the championship. To me now, personally, the races matter more than the championship, and they've mattered more for 10 years or so. To me, I don't want to hear about the championship till like 5 races to go. Like I really don't need to hear about the championship implications and crap like that, 9 races into the year when I already know that that's something there. That's where I stand on it. And I get it's unpopular. I think I'm probably in the minority on a lot of that stuff now. But I'm not going to stop beating the drum. All right. My channel, my rules, I guess, right? Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's like Spencer says here. I'm watching the races for the races. That's where I'm at, man. Same place. What else we got here? I want to see if we can get 1 or 2 more here, and then we're gonna head on out. I have not watched much with the Chili Bowl, so I'm kind of out of the loop. Trust me, I got a lot going on. I got a lot going on, and there had to be some concessions. Let's see. Least favorite NASCAR track. Interesting. Huh. Honestly, I'm not going to say Texas anymore. I know a lot of people would want me to say Texas. I'm not going to say Texas. Phoenix is high up there. I'd probably be Phoenix personally. I actually like Pocono. Yes, as Duke Chronic say Pocono. I like Pocono. I like Indy for the history. I can't say I hate Indy because it's not made for stock cars. The Roval's starting to get up there a little bit for me, not because I dislike it, but because I want the oval race back there again. Let's see. Radman is an NWP guest. We'll have to look at it. Depends on his schedule. Ours, I mean, conflict of interest just in case. I don't know if NASCAR will say anything or whatever. we're open to pretty much anything guest wise. Everything else we're kind of locked in on though. But yeah, I'll go Phoenix on that one. Let's end on this one, because I just talked about it. Do you think the Roval will be replaced for 2026? I'm kind of at a 30% that it will. I think it should be, one, because road courses don't sell to NASCAR fans. It's just been proven by the viewership. Doesn't matter when in the season it is. The only one that can really ever bring in good numbers is Chicago or Watkins Glen. So I think it should be marketing wise. But Marcus Smith, this is his little baby. This is the thing that kind of sparked off this big moment and movement to have road courses, Rovals, changing up the schedule, stuff like that. So I don't think that I don't personally think we will have that move. I want it, but I don't think we'll have it. Then Fred Dog here with the 5 saying, what are your expectations for the crowd and race in Mexico? I think it's going to be a big crowd. Big crowd. Race, I don't know. This car isn't great with the road courses. But I expect a lot of people to be there. This is a big deal, and NASCAR's put a lot into it. And Bailey here saying, who wins first at Haas, Creed or Mayer? Mayer. Mayer has a lower end when it comes to screwing up a lot, but higher end when it comes to winning. Oh, what's up, Murph? St. Pete NASCAR IndyCar weekend would be pretty cool. That would. Good to see you. But I think that's going to cover it. I appreciate you all coming out. I think the next stream will do at some point. Thing is, I don't know what days I could do it, but at some point I kind of want to see if I can do a 2012 Bud shootout watch along, whether it's before or after the Clash. So more than likely the next time I'll see you guys will be NWP on January 30th. So be sure to subscribe to be on this channel. Gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea how to end this stream per se. So we're all learning. I'm learning on the go right now. But thank you guys so much for coming out. I appreciate it a ton. Can't wait to see you for NWP on January 30th, and the post-race show starting up as well. Going to be a ton of fun, and I'll see you later. Bye.